thing for sure, Jamaica is in Africa. I don't care what the geographers say. Because do you know how much that scarred me when I was 10? Do you understand? I'm sorry.
Have you ever had a deeply held belief that turned out to be completely wrong? And the kind of belief that makes you question everything you thought you knew. It's an almost universal experience, especially when we were young. We take information often from our parents or the culture around us and form our own understanding of the world. But what happens when that understanding clashes with reality? Well, for one person, this experience was all about geography. Specifically, it was about the location of the Caribbean island of Jamaica. Growing up, this lady was so immersed in the music of a legendary artist that they became convinced that Jamaica was in Africa. The music, the imagery on the record covers, and the sheer cultural force of all it painted a picture that was vivid. It scared them to learn the truth. So in this video, we dive into how a personal experience like this can completely challenge our understanding of the world. We're going to explore the power of the cultural figures, the complexities of the African diaspora, and how deeply personal beliefs can override established facts. We'll also take a look at a truly bizarre but thought-provoking hypothetical trade between Africa, an African country, and a Caribbean nation. It's a conversation that will get you thinking about identity, heritage, and the stories we normally tell ourselves. So before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below with a childhood misconception that you had. And do not forget to share this video with your friend. I'll be back after the clips are played and we discuss more.
So, I think it's safe to say that there are a few Africans growing up who genuinely thought that Jamaica was in Africa. And I am guilty. I am one of those people who genuinely thought Jamaica was an African country. And I remember growing up, my dad used to play Bob Marley so much. And on top of that, the vinyl, we used to call it LPs, the cover was clearly a black African man. So it didn't make sense that if anyone had to tell me, no, this man is not in Africa or from Africa, you know, he's obviously African, but that Jamaica is not in Africa. It made no sense. But I know better now, guys. I'm grown up, but I do know something. So there's this other African country, and they do not consider themselves black. I don't even know if they think they're African. It's a blue flag, and no, it's not Botswana, but maybe if we can like swap them with the Caribbean. Just a thought. Use it, don't use it.
Welcome back, and I hope you found that clip as thought-provoking as I did. What it truly highlights is the power of personal experience and how it can shape our perceptions of the world. And the speaker's firm conviction that Jamaica is in Africa, despite what geographers say, is a perfect example of this. It's a testament to how our individual narratives can sometimes become more powerful than established facts, especially when those narratives are deeply rooted in our childhood memories. And the speaker's statement that the truth scared me when I was 10 isn't just a throwaway line. It speaks the emotional impact that challenging a long-held belief can have on a person. And the source provides a clear example of this phenomenon where a personal conviction takes precedence over established geographical facts. And the speaker's assertion, one thing for Jamaica sure is Jamaica is in Africa. It's in a casual statement. It is a declaration of deeply held belief that rejects the established geographical narrative. The speaker's explicit declaration, I don't care what the geographers say, shows a deliberate conscious rejection of expert consensus. And this rejection isn't based on a lack of information, but on a personal conviction that holds a strong emotional resonance. The statement about scared by the correct geographical information suggests that the discrepancy between their personal understanding and established facts was distressing, and this distress led them to favor a narrative that felt more personally resonant. It's an illustration of how deeply personal experiences and the emotional impact of those experiences can lead individuals to form their own narratives, even when those narratives directly oppose fact-based knowledge. And the speaker's strong emotional response and their declaration that Jamaica is in Africa, I don't care what the geographers say, hint a personal connection to this belief that goes beyond a simple misunderstanding. While the term identity isn't explicitly used, the speaker's emotional response and the defiance of conventional geographic understanding suggests that this belief holds significant personal meaning for them. The word scaring indicates that the clash between their personal conviction and the factual information had a lasting and a negative emotional effect, which could certainly influence their understanding of heritage, belonging, or even their overall sense of self. The speaker's firm belief that Jamaica is in Africa is an example of this. The declaration that one thing for sure, Jamaica is in Africa, is made with absolute certainty, and this conviction is so strong that the speaker explicitly states that I don't care what the geographers say, indicating a clear defiance of conventional geographical understanding. This belief seems to have stemmed from a profound personal experience that scared them when they were 10 years old. The shared cultural heritage of Bob Marley is a significant factor in all of this, because the speaker goes ahead and recounting how their father's frequent playing of Bob Marley's music was combined with visual of Marley on the LP covers as clear as Black American Man made it genuinely believe that the Jamaica was an African country. This anecdote highlights how a widespread cultural presence and perceived African identity can contribute to a misconception among some Africans that Jamaica is a part of Africa. This misconception about national identity is a great example of the complexities of the African diaspora. Cultural figures like Bob Marley can act as powerful connectors that transcend geographical boundaries. And for the speaker, the combination of his music and his image led them to believe that Jamaica was an African country. This shows how a shared cultural heritage can profoundly influence our perceptions of national identity within the African diaspora. This brings us to a key point: the interplay between the perceived identity and the geographical reality. The speaker found it illogical that a figure as obviously African as Bob Marley would not be from Africa, or that Jamaica, the source of such a cultural resonant figure, would not be in Africa. This demonstrates how a strong cultural and racial identification can sometimes override geographical knowledge, leading to assumptions about national belonging among people of African descent globally. And the difficulty that the speaker had in reconciling Marley's obvious African appearance with Jamaica not being in Africa directly points to this complexity. The example also highlights how the shared cultural heritage and common ancestry within the diaspora can blur the lines between continental Africa and nations settled by its diaspora. For some individuals, shared physical features and cultural expressions can foster an intrusive sense of unity and shared national identity, even if it's geographically inaccurate. While the speaker now knows better, this personal experience exemplifies the challenges in identifying national identities. When deep cultural and ancestral ties are present across vast distances, showcasing the intricate nature of identity within the African diaspora. Music, to be specific, played a significant role in shaping these perceptions. And the speaker's genuine belief that Jamaica was an African country during their upbringing was heavily influenced by their father frequently playing Bob Marley's music. The vinyl cover, which clearly depicted a black African man, further reinforced the idea that Bob Marley was from Africa. The combination of the music and the visual representation of the artist made it make no sense to the speaker if anyone suggested that Jamaica was not in Africa, saying that Bob Marley was obviously an African man in appearance. This demonstrates how music coupled with its associated imagery can create and solidify a perceived geographical and national identity link, even that perception is factually incorrect. And finally, we come to the most whimsical part of the clip, where the speaker's proposal of a swap between a named African country and the Caribbean region. This idea, while playful, is also incredibly thought-provoking. It's a whimsical suggestion that speaks to the deeper questions of identity, belonging, and how we define ourselves and our nations. It makes you wonder, what if we could move countries based on cultural connection rather than geographical location? What does it truly mean to be African or Caribbean, and how much of that is tied to a specific location versus a shared history and culture? Ultimately, this entire story serves as a powerful reminder that our personal experiences, cultural influences, and emotional connections can create narratives that are just as so real to us as any map or textbook. it's a fascinating thing to look into, how our individual words are built and how sometimes the stories we tell ourselves are the most powerful of all truths. So guys, if you found this video helpful and you found it educative, you can share it with your brothers and sisters, your friends. You can also tell me what you think in the comments below. Have you ever had this misconception about a place or even some culture based on geographical locations, maybe in the Caribbean, Africa, maybe in Australia and Africa? You know, sometimes there is a video that I'm planning to do next, and it's about the Aboriginals in New Guinea, and New Guinea is found in Australia. In Africa we have Guinea-Bissau, and in Australia we have New Guinea, and the people of New Guinea, they are so identical to the people of Guinea-Bissau. So personally, growing up, I thought that New Guinea, there is a famous city called Papua New Guinea. I thought that Papua New Guinea was in some place in West Africa, but that was a misconception that I'll also come here and discuss about it, make a video about it, because we are a people, the Black nation, we are a people that have a shared identity, and we are all over the world. So guys, kindly don't forget to like this video so that the YouTube algorithm can be favorable to it. It can be suggested to as many people as possible. Remember to leave a comment below. Remember to share this video, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Turn on post notifications, because every day I post new videos like this, and I'd like you to be the very first person to watch my videos. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.